What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for week one of the 2022 Vineland High School football season. It is the Dan Russo Show, presented by the Red and Gray Gridiron Group and Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your host, Kyle Bennett, and joining me, as he does each and every week, the namesake of this show, Vineland football head coach, Dan Russo. Coach, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, thanks. How are you?
Not too bad. Coming off of week 0 last week, a tough loss, 7-6 to Oakcrest. We're going to recap that game before we get into this Bridgeton matchup, and of course some big news with our alumni as well later on in the show. But Coach, the 7-6 matchup against Oakcrest last week, what were some of your takeaways from that game? Obviously week 0 kind of still trying to get some of the rust knocked off the summer gears, but what did you take away, you and your coaching staff, from that performance against Oakcrest?
We're always proud of the kids when they give us everything they got. And, they went out there and they battled. Unfortunately, we came up short. Special teams are very important. And as you saw, our defense played outstanding. It was a shutout. Coach Hendricks had them ready to go and did an excellent job. As I mentioned last week, we're going to try to eliminate the big plays from Oakcrest, and I feel like we did, but we weren't able to sustain drives, and it seemed like every time we had a nice run, we had a penalty. Either it was a holding penalty, or we even had a personal foul on a player, and it destroys drives. And I told the kids, and I've always told them, you can't have these penalties. And the one thing I say, whether you hold or not, you don't put your hands up in the air and say, I didn't do it. As soon as you do that, they throw the flag. I mean, I think every time I've seen a player put their hands up in the air, it's a penalty. So
almost at any level too.
It's pretty aggravating. So with penalties and the mishap in special teams, and the offense wasn't able to sustain drives, but we'll be better this week. Kids have been working hard out in the heat. It's not easy. It's going to be hot for both teams Friday too. It's been hot this week. Thought it was going to cool down, but it's still not easy. They go out there and practice, but the kids have been resilient, and they're working hard, and they're hungry to flip the script and get a win Friday night. And we get some guys back too. We're going to have Derek Akemi back. We'll have Charles Clark back, and we're going to have Carlos Rodriguez, some really good players, dynamic, exciting, and I'm looking forward to see them perform and help the team on Friday night. We got nicked up Friday with some injuries, and then the cramping, and like I mentioned to, I guess it was the Atlantic City Press, we usually go for one. We have a really good kicker, but I like 3 guys out of that point after attempt, and it's hard to just throw 3 guys in there that some guys have experience, but it was just so overwhelming, and it was a split decision. It was my decision to go for 2, and I felt like it was the right thing to do, and we came up short with that. But hopefully we can get back to kicking field goals this week, because Colin Greif has done an excellent job. He's actually punting now too, as you saw for us, and he's a nice weapon to have. He does a lot of extra training with 5-star kicking, and he's really improved. He had ACL surgery as a 8th grader, I think, and I think his leg's fully healed now, and he's getting back to himself. So I'm real proud of him for sticking it out and working hard, and he's definitely a huge asset for our football program, and we're going to utilize his skill set. Big rivalry this Friday, local towns here, old school rivalry, and it'll be a battle. And last year they got the best of us, and we're looking to go out there and compete and do our best to win the game.
Yeah, you bring up getting some of those guys back. A lot of people from last year remember Charles bursting onto the scene as a freshman when that mini, group of freshmen got that call up to varsity. I'm very excited to see him kind of take a next step forward as this team's, bell cow back running the ball for you guys. Akami is obviously a force for this team and has been for the past couple of seasons. So I'm excited to see him get back out there as well. But you brought up Colin, and obviously you never want to be in a situation where you're punting because you want to be moving the ball down the field and scoring points. But watching Colin in the booth on Friday night, Rich and I, every time he got that ball away, like 6 out of the 7 times, obviously the one low snap that led to Oakcrest touchdown happened, but he made things happen. Whether he had to scramble a little bit and get that ball off, and he was booting the ball 40 yards down the field, and I was just blown away by his leg strength. And I was going to ask you as well, what led to you guys going for 2, but seeing that type of weapon, it feels like the first time since Henry Garton graduated where you guys now have a legitimate kicking weapon that you can have in your back pocket, whether it's during the game for extra points or late in games if you're driving down the field, like I saw Colin warming up for, if you were to get into his range to have a late game field goal.
Yeah, no doubt. I've got to do a better job of having some backups ready to go for that spot. I've never had. I don't think I've ever had that happen since I've been here in 10 years. That I feel like 3 guys were out. I just feel like it was overwhelming, and I wasn't comfortable going for the field goal or the point after attempt there. And we had Charles Burt went out 81. He's our right wing. Obviously, Akami beginning of the week was the guy, and then we got he was unable to go. And I feel like Julio Garcia was out. And I felt like there was one other, and I just, made a decision to go for 2. But that's what led for us to do that. We normally don't do that. We're going to be, going for extra points. He's a great kicker. It's just I felt like I was putting him in a tough spot too, as far as having to go out there and perform if, Oakcrest was able to get in there, especially after watching them get in on that punt. So, made a decision. It's on me, and we'll move forward, and we got a long season.
And you bring up, Charles, he did get injured last week. Is there any, status update on him? How is he feeling post Friday night after having to exit that game early?
Yeah, he's day to day. I'm still waiting to hear. He's getting some tests done, so I don't have any definitive answer for you on that one. But I'm waiting to hear, his results, and he's in good spirits, and we're pulling for him and hoping that works out that he can still return to the team.
It seemed like relatively everything else that happened Friday night, air quotes for the people just listening, but injury-wise was just like you said, a lot of cramping. It was hot on Friday night, the turf, obviously. So my message to the boys, stay hydrated, fellas. Drink that water. It's going to help. Don't turn it away if it's offered to you because you're going to cramp up. It's still August. It's still, summertime. You got to get those fluids running. But overall, injury-wise, outside of Charles right now, seems like the team's relatively healthy.
Unfortunately, we lost Jamison Blanding for the year, 76, our left tackle. He got injured in the Williamstown game, so he's not going to be able to, play this year, which is feels so bad for him. He's worked extremely hard in the off season, so that's a huge loss for the program. Like I said, we're waiting to hear from Charles. Hoping, our quarterback can go. He got nicked up as well. So, like I said, a lot of guys are day-to-day. Other than that, we're everyone else was in fairly good shape. Mentioned, too, about the hydration. If you saw our huddle message system from the trainers and from me, it's all we talk about. One thing I tell the kids to ask their parents and guardians, at least 3 meals a day and plenty of water. Even that Pedialyte stuff and some of those new, even Gatorade has their version of it now. I see it at Wawa. So that's something we tell them every day. It was unfortunate for some of those things to take place. And I've never really seen many people like that. But hopefully they understand now and they drink more water and, maybe some guys can't go both ways. So we're making some changes now.
And last week on the show, you brought up Emmanuel Develis playing some left tackle for you guys. Obviously, was stellar on defense last season. Made his presence felt again this past week. But what did you see from him on the offensive side of the ball, playing on that O line?
It's a work in progress. He's given us all he has, but it's different for him. It's even though people think line play is similar, playing offensive line is a lot different than playing D line. And one of the things I told him to master that position and on defense, where he's going to play at the next level, he's got to know what his opponent does. So it's good that he's going to know both. That's my opinion of that, and I'm sure most other coaches feel the same. But in order to master D-line, you got to really know what an offensive lineman's thinking. So putting him in that spot lets him feel and see what an offensive lineman's doing. So maybe he knows how to beat certain blocks,
Yeah,
So
I was pretty impressed for his first time, being out there in
yeah,
a real game situation.
he's an athletic kid. Plays basketball for us too, and he's developing nicely. I think he's fairly young for his grade too. He could be a junior still, but he's doing a nice job. He's a great kid.
Somebody else we brought up last week where you said it seems like we might have to have height check-ins for him this year to see if he continues to grow. Tank Powell doing the damn thing last week. Catches that ball, high points it in the corner of the end zone, and we got during the broadcast a tweet in from older brother Tyreem while he's up at Rutgers. He saw the catch happen live, tweeted at me during the broadcast, so that was a pretty cool broadcasting moment to know that he was tuning in for his younger brother. But phenomenal catch for that touchdown. Great tracking in intense coverage. There was multiple guys on him, but he went up, used his height to his advantage, and I was very impressed with his performance overall from start to finish on Friday night.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Tyrell Powell, aka Tank. He is he's a coach's dream. He does everything you ask. Excellent student. Never one issue in school. All his middle school teachers, I see him out. I saw Megan Bernhardt out the other night. She showed me a picture she has with him when they were. She was his teacher or guidance counselor, and she's can't say enough good things about Tank. And he's a great kid, and he's the most consistent player right now we have in our program. No matter what spot you put him in, he'll learn it, and he'll do a great job. And he did a great job on defense, and he did an excellent job on offense. And he goes both ways. He didn't come off the field. He didn't have a cramp. He did what we asked because that's him, and he's smart, and he's developing nice. He's progressing well, and very happy that he's in our program. He's what we're looking for.
And obviously, this past week 0 was kind of a new situation for you as well, with some new coordinators for you in a game situation. What was that like for you and for your two new coordinators to kind of, be collaborating in a week 0 game situation and kind of going through the flow of a game for the first time together?
Yeah, it went well. Obviously, defense really stepped up and kept us in the game. Offense struggled, but it was for multiple reasons. It wasn't, the coordinator's fault. We had a lot of kids that we thought were going to be able to play that were not able to play. And, the penalties killed the drives. Every time we get like a nice run, all of a sudden holding, and you get a holding penalty. It's brutal. It's really hard to sustain drives when you're trying to build a program here and build an offense and get some consistency. It's just like I'm telling you, it's very difficult. It's hard to overcome holding penalties, and especially personal fouls, which are 15 yards. So I've spoken to the team. I've spoken to some players individually, and if they don't do what we ask, there's going to be changes made. I have to have players in there that do the right things. Obviously everybody knows football is, bigger, faster, stronger, but I always add smarter. We have to be smarter. Especially that personal foul was a retaliation thing, and guess what? We get hit with it. That's what I was trying to say to the ref, but at the end of the day, it's our players' fault for retaliating, which I've said hundreds of times. So we have to be smarter and more disciplined, and that's on me as well. So I got to do a better job.
And before we move into the matchup with the Bridgeton Bulldogs, I did want to touch on Prince Bordy stepping up with Charles being out last week. Fills in first game in a Vineland High School uniform as a transfer from East Orange, who we touched on last week a little bit. For him to step into his first game scenario, brand new team, brand new city, and as the game progressed, Rich and I both were commenting on how he seemed to just kind of get more comfortable, seemed like he was getting more in a flow. I was pretty impressed for his first time in your guys' new system, and to have him kind of as a weapon, as a backup running back to Charles moving forward, I think is going to be huge for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. We're also real high on DJ Clark. He's going to get some burn this week too. He's probably the fastest kid on the team, so we're trying to find ways to get him the ball as well. He's corner for us. He's a great athlete, runs kicks back. So we've got some guys back there that are going to help to contribute on the offensive end, and we're going to get him in some spots to be successful. But yeah, he's another great kid. Prince is awesome. I reached out to me late in the spring, said he was from East Orange, and said he was moving to Vineland. Very nice family. Got to meet his mother, another student that's really good in the classroom, and he's turned into a nice leader here. He's sending nice messages on Huddle. That's our school-sponsored messaging system with also that has our film, and the whole team communicates through that. And he's been sending some real positive messages to the team, and he's trying to be a leader, and he's in a new program, and it's not easy to do. So it's a lot of credit to him.
And you bring up DJ too, seeing him on the defensive side of things for a majority of Friday night's game. I was pretty impressed with the way he was able to go toe for toe with some of those big bodies on that Oakcrest offense. And overall, I think the defense, like you said, pitching that shutout, they looked mean, they looked tough, and I'm excited for them to continue to progress this week. Against Bridgeton, which they're going to have to do. Nice little revenge game, if you will, from last season, where you mentioned Bridgeton got the best of you guys. Going into this matchup, and any film that you've been able to kind of see on Bridgeton so far this year, what are your expectations going into Friday night at Bridgeton?
Yeah, we're highly motivated, the staff and the players. My first year here, and I still have some coaches that have been with me since the beginning, they lit us up on our homecoming, and they didn't take their foot off the gas. So things like that, there's certain games I remember, and I'll tell you what, that's one of them. It's not my style, but at the time, that's what they chose to do against us. So, like I said, I'm still the coach here at Vineland. Not such a good memory for me, but we're going to give them our best shot. And like I said, it's a local rivalry. A lot of the kids know each other. And we're going there to win.
Yeah, the Cumberland County rivalries are, I think, some of the most fun matchups that all of those teams get to participate in. Obviously, we have the big one on Thanksgiving every single year, but kind of incorporating, Bridgeton now 2 years in a row, I think is fun for the kids. I think it's a good, county, atmosphere to have that matchup on the calendar every year. What are some things that, outside of the obvious with the penalties, like we've mentioned, that you want to see the offense do against Bridgeton and kind of, take that next step from, where things were against Absegami in the scrimmage to against Oakcrest? What are some things that you're looking for the offense to kind of do against Bridgeton on Friday night?
And before I touch on that, and even last year, it was a little ridiculous, the phantom offensive pass interference when James Hitchens turns around and catches a touchdown. That gets called back.
That was crazy.
Then a phantom hold that I'm still looking for. And we had a nice drive inside the 10-yard line. And then we have an official that, having a bad day, decides to give an obscene gesture to our fans. So it was just a bizarre day. And then that wind that came in, it's still not sitting well with me, that game. So, like I said, I'm definitely highly motivated. The coaches are, and so are the players. So we're going there to play some football, and our kids are going to be ready. And we got some tough kids, and they're not happy about losing last week, and we're all pissed off. So we're giving them our best shot. As far as you're asking me about Bridgeton, right?
Yeah, and what you want to see, your
Yeah,
guys' offense kind of do against their defense.
we got to be more consistent on offense. We have to sustain drives, and we have to eliminate the stupid penalties. And play violent football. Defense can continue to do what they're doing. They're doing a great job. We'll continue to improve on special teams. We've got to tighten that up a little bit. We were a little behind in special teams here. Week 0 came very quick. Trying to get the offense right, trying to get the defense right. You got new coordinators, and unfortunately, you don't have the biggest window there to prepare for that. But I got to figure it out. We've made time for it, and I'm confident that our kids will be hungry Friday night to right the ship here at Vineland.
And I'm sure for Coach Hendricks coming in, obviously with his first year with you guys and seeing how well the defense performed last week, I think it's only going to be heightened. Him being obviously the crosstown rival, he's a graduate from there, so the bad blood between them and Bridgeton is also there. So I'm sure he's also highly motivated from that aspect of his playing career, wanting to go toe to toe with another Cumberland County rival.
Yeah, no doubt. Coach Hendricks is a huge asset to our program. Um, real happy he's here with us, and you could see how well the defense played and his knowledge of the game, and real happy.
And I think going into this game defensively as well, like from what I saw from the booth on Friday night, the linebacker play was absolutely stellar. From the pressure that was, being put on to Oakcrest quarterback to the number of sacks that were accrued throughout that game. That's one positional unit that I think is going to absolutely thrive under Coach Hendricks, and seeing what they were able to do last Friday, I'm looking to potentially see that continue, if not improve even more, because the toughness and the grit that they showed, I think, is going to be something that sticks throughout this entire season.
No doubt. All of them were very strong at every position. I feel in defense. The two ends with Manny and Newman. You got some dudes there, and then you have the corners are consistent. They have nice speed, and we got some good size at those positions. But yeah, I feel like the defense is in a good spot. Offense, like I said, I feel like they're doing a lot of positive things, but the penalties really hurt us. If we didn't have those penalties, I really feel like we could have scored a couple more times. We can't have meaningless penalties, and the staff and I are working hard to get that message across to the players. So hopefully we can eliminate those penalties. Offense can continue to sustain drives, and we can keep Bridgeton's offense off the field, and defense can keep doing what it's been doing.
And obviously, first road matchup of the year for you guys. What's the preparation and kind of the message to everybody to mentally prepare for that road atmosphere? Obviously, with it being a Cumberland County rival, it's going to get a little rowdy. It's going to get a little raucous. What's kind of the message to keep everybody kind of locked in and worrying about what you guys can control, and just being laser focused for Friday night?
Yeah, it's still a little odd because school hasn't started. I like being able to talk to the kids throughout the day and that structure. They don't start school till the day after Labor Day, so they're still not in school. The teachers go back Thursday, but it's just a lot to juggle because it's a lot of planning here. Like when we have away games and they just woke up from the 9-10, or they're in the 11-12, and we go see the trainer, do our thing, have a meal together, and get their uniforms and bus to the game. So this year it's a little different. They'll have to get a ride to the school, and we bus them to Bridgeton's facility, and then we'll bus them back here. So logistically speaking, it's not an ideal situation, but we make it work.
And obviously, I think it is an advantage in your guys' back pocket having the fantastic facility. Catone, Bridgeton obviously had their field renovated a few years before you guys, but to kind of have a similar playing surface, I think bodes well for anybody coming in who's able to play on a turf surface like you guys have and like Bridgeton has for game days.
Yeah, it seems like most of the teams that we play this year, I feel like the only game we have on grass is, I think, your Clearview. Kingsway got turf now, and Bridgeton has turf. So yeah, it seems like it's the norm now. So we're used to it. They're used to it. Both teams have fast kids, so they're even faster on the turf. And I enjoy playing games on turf. The grass is fine too if it's well kept, but most of the time it's hard to rely on people when they reduce, workforce at most places because they're cutting budgets every day. And the fields aren't what they used to be as far as grass fields. So these towns that invest in artificial grass, I think, are going in the right direction. So I'd have to double check, but I think every game this year for us is on artificial grass except for Clearview. So they have a nice facility there. We enjoy playing over there. We had some big time matchups. I remember the last time we were there was we still had Isaiah Pacheco and Naheem Anderson and
Anthony Reyes.
Noah Sansalone, and they had Marquise Bell.
Yep.
So he was a heck of a player, and believe it or not, it was a battle in a low-scoring game. I think we pulled off a win 7-0. It was came down to the final minutes. They were drying. We were able to stop them. So it was a big win for us. It was a let's do the math here. 61-point improvement in our program because they beat us a year or two before on our homecoming, 54-0. So in my little notes on improvement in the program, I look at a plus 61. So that was a huge win for us at their place. That showed you how far, our program had come in a short amount of time. After the shellacking they gave us my first year here, when the kids really didn't do what was required to be successful, but it wasn't their fault. They just didn't have the structure, the off-season strength and conditioning program that we worked hard on that after the first season I was there, and the kids were able to get a big win. So I enjoyed that one, to say the least.
Yeah, I remember that game. I was working for NJ.com still, and I'll never forget how excited and overjoyed Anthony Reyes was when that final drive happened. And that was a game that sticks in my memory for quite some time. It was right before we started doing podcasting and everything. I was still freelancing, so that's a game that sticks out to me for sure.
Yeah, he was a high energy kid, so I can remember he was always running with a full speed. I'll tell you that his motor's always running, so that was a big win for us. That's you look back and you think of some wins, and that win at Bridgeton was really big for us because they had some guys. Marquise Bell, obviously with the Dallas Cowboys now. Did he? If he made the roster?
I was wondering that. I'm going to pull that up right now, actually. Let's see here.
Was he the same year as Pacheco or a year ahead? He might be a year older.
He might be a year older than Isaiah.
Yeah.
Marquise Bell has made the Dallas Cowboys 53-man roster.
Wow. This is incredible.
So Vineland Bridgeton week, we have Isaiah Pacheco making the Chiefs 53-man roster and Marquise Bell from Bridgeton making the 53-man roster. So congrats to both of them.
Yeah, how impressive is that? Good for them. Take advantage of their situations and put that work in. So congratulations.
Before we get into more alumni talk and talking more about Isaiah, I must say the uniforms last week looked absolutely gorgeous. Loved that jersey. Hopefully it stays in the repertoire for years to come. But obviously for the new listeners and viewers out there, Coach Russo and I, long ago when we first started this show, we dubbed it a look good, feel good, play good podcast. So, Coach, what's the uni combo going into Friday night against Bridgeton looking like?
Yeah, we're looking for every advantage we can get. So it's going to be hot, so we're going all white. We're the road team, so you got to wear white. So we have the white jerseys, the white pants, and we're gonna rock the white helmets again. So I'll tell you what, I don't know if I even want to say it on the air because it is an advantage. So maybe I'll tell you in private when I see you next time
There we
about
go.
these ladies.
Those are the show nuggets that you guys don't get to listen to. I do
I
have
don't
to
want to give
comment too.
I don't want to give my opponents any more
Exactly.
advantages. You know what I'm saying?
I do have to comment on this too before we move into the alumni. Friday night's atmospheric and tone was fantastic. The cheerleaders were great. Justin Feliciano, the new band director who I graduated high school with, did a phenomenal job with the band. The drum line, rendition was fantastic. So just wanted to tip my cap to the cheerleaders and the band as well for a job well done on Friday night.
Yeah, that's great. They're awesome. The cheerleaders were in the locker room earlier or the day before, putting in helping me. Or actually, they put the jerseys out for us, had them all lined up with some snacks for the guys and Gatorade and some Gatorade bars as well, and decorated the locker room. It was awesome. They were so cool, and I gave them the option. Said, hey, listen, if you want to wear the T-shirts that we had, or they could have wore the white jerseys like they did last year, and they chose to wear the white T-shirts. And Greta Broom is the new head cheerleading coach, and she's great. She's also our school nurse, so hats off to her and her staff for doing a great job with those cheerleaders, and also to the band as well. Congratulations. Looking forward to working with you as well. They've always supported us, and we support them as well. It's always feels great having them with us. And not only do they do the home games, but they go to the away games, and they've been nothing but short of awesome here. So really appreciate both of them. And I hear the concession stands were outstanding. We have a good friend of mine running them, Chef Rob Bono, former teammate as well. So I got to sample some of the stuff after the game just because he had so much food, and I really didn't have the best appetite. But I said, you know what, I got to try some of this. So the food was delicious. Looking forward to working with him as well. It sounded like it went very, very well. And we're going to have that apparel store. From time to time, we'll have T-shirts, some hats, hoodies. I'm going to try to get in that box as well on the guest side, so it's not too congested on the home side because there's so much action with the food. So we're going to, people want some gear, just take a short walk during halftime or first half, whatever, and get some gear. We're going to have some nice shirts, like I said, hoodies, and people can wear that proudly in the community. And we're going to right this ship. We're going to win some games this year. The kids are hungry, looking for that first win Friday night and build on that. Once, with my experience here at Vineland, and coaching football and basketball, I feel like once they get a taste, they want it again. It's like, it's addictive, So that's what I'm
Absolutely.
looking for with these guys. So they get a taste of victory, and we keep it rolling.
Yeah, and not only will they have games on Friday nights, but after this week, the NFL kicks off, and like we just mentioned, Isaiah Pacheco makes the initial Kansas City Chiefs 53-man roster, being a seventh-round pick, 11 picks before the draft ended, used that adversity to his advantage, and parlayed that into a phenomenal training camp with the Chiefs, a fantastic preseason, and now he earns a spot on one of the 32 NFL teams' rosters, which are obviously so coveted across the league, and couldn't be happier for Isaiah to see, just the work that he put in, to see all the big name, reporters from, just the NFL side of things, the fantasy football side of things. When I open my fantasy football app, I have my draft on Thursday night, and seeing Isaiah's name in that app is one of those things where you have to double take, because it's like, wow, I've known Isaiah for so long, and now, he's a guy that's draftable in fantasy football. And he's going to be one of the 4 running backs on the Kansas City Chiefs roster this season. So congratulations to Isaiah, and I can't imagine how proud you and the coaching staff are of one of the prized jewels of Vineland, New Jersey, being in the NFL once again.
Most definitely. He's very special. And to see him, his progression and how he flourished in the right environment, and like a lot of our kids do. And it's just a pleasure to coach him and to see him in the NFL. And I feel like it's the perfect team for him. It was like a perfect match. Andy Reid's a great coach, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And just a great system. I think he's a good fit. And guess what? Kansas City Chiefs are smart. They got a great player at a very reasonable price because he went in the 7th round. So they're like, wow, can't believe. I'm sure they're like, wow, they couldn't believe he was still there. Um, so he was able to showcase his skill set with an incredible offensive line, professionals, and he's going to do great. The O line was doing great except for that one missed block where that guy came in the other night and gave him a Russian sickle, and his helmet came off. So I was like, wow, I can't imagine getting hit by that. That guy looked like he was 300 plus.
Yeah.
He just came in. And Pop was like, what the hell happened there? There's nothing he could do. As soon as he touched the ball, the guy just crushed him. What a blown assignment that was. It wasn't even like a linebacker blitz. I guess he was unaccounted for. The guy missed the assignment, but I was like, damn, because it was 4th and 1, and they, give Pop some blocking. He's going to get that 1 yard, but I don't see many running backs getting through that.
Yeah, that was Pop's welcome to the NFL moment.
Oh man, it hit him so hard his helmet came off. But see, Pop's so damn tough. He was fine.
Yeah, he probably ate it up and was like, all right, let's go back at it.
Yeah, normal human wouldn't be able to get up, but Pop is not human. He's got special powers, man.
Yeah.
So he was good to go.
And obviously this week, college football fully underway, and Tyreen Powell will be strapping up the pads, playing against Boston College this week for Rutgers. So wishing Tyreen the best going into his junior season, and everybody. We were joking about it in the booth this past week. The alumni that Vineland High School has at the NCAA level is almost a 53-man NFL roster in and of itself, because the list continues to get longer and longer. Obviously, the Absegami scrimmage, Ryan Shelton was there as well. It was good to see him and catch up with him. But another college football season is upon us, and we'll be talking about them at the end of each and every show with just the long list of Vineland High School alumni playing at the NCAA level now. It's just pretty incredible to watch that list year over year just continue to grow.
Yeah, the kids are taking advantage of the situation, doing great in school, and listen to the coaches. I was thinking about the other day. Obviously, coaching legend Coach Dave Heck helps out. He's a former head coach. Now we have another former head coach in Dwayne Hendricks, and I'm constantly on the phone, and I have a great friend of mine that watches our film and helps us out as a consultant. It's a former head coach and college coach at Villanova with Coach Clint Wiley, who's probably one of the best football minds in the state of New Jersey. He's unbelievable. So I have 3 former head coaches that are helping us and helping the kids get to the next level. Coach Wiley has more contacts than anybody in this area. He's got friends that he coached with in college that are all over the country. He makes a phone call and recommends you. You're getting a look. That's the juice he brings. He's got more juice than I do because he's been in that world. He coached at Villanova for 16 years, and a lot of the guys that coach under him are in Big Ten schools and ACC schools, and he could have done that, but he chose to, not live that life, which means you could have a different hat on every year, every 2 years, because I see these scouts come in and I say, I know the face, but the hat's different. So he decided to make a commitment to his family, and he was the head coach at Oakcrest, believe it or not, and Sterling High School, and he helps us out big time. And like I say, he's a good friend of mine, just as Coach Heck is as well. He was my coach my freshman year, and I learned a lot in that 1 year with Coach Heck and Coach Parentazzi and a lot of the guys before me as well. I have all the respect in the world for Coach Heck. He's another incredible football mind. Those things forward and backward. A lot of coaching probably, I don't want to let people know Coach's age, but I bet you it's close to 40 years, man. And he's still fired up, and should hear him get on the kids when they don't do what they're supposed to, and that's the way it should be. So matter of fact, Coach Hendricks played for Coach Heck, and he had the privilege of being coached by Coach Heck as well. So, real happy with the staff. Coach Guzman's been with me since the beginning. Also played with, he was a couple years behind me at the College of New Jersey. So I've known Coach Guzman, wow, long time. As I look, geez, over 25 years here. So, Coach Mike Wimbish came over from Oakcrest, believe it or not, and had some experience at Camden Catholic. So he's another great asset. Coach Tucker has great experience, and he's helping us fix the offense as well. He's doing a great job. He Camden Catholic, Pemberton, and Pennsauken. He's another great football mind. I've done everything in my power to get the best coaches here at Vineland, and I feel like we have a really good staff, and it's just going to get better. Everybody gets along, and work well together, respect one another, respect other coaches' opinions here in the staff, and we're always going to do it. No, are we going to listen? Yes. We're going to try to find something that works for our kids, most definitely. So it's a good group of men. Enjoy our coaching with them, and the kids are in a good spot. And back to what you're saying is they get to hear from guys like this about the players they coached in the past that have done all the things that our kids are doing, and how they've got to the next level, and how they got to take the academics piece very serious. That's the key to this. There's a lot of talent. If there's 10, Tyrene Powells, but the one that gets A's and B's is the Tyrene Powell they want, that's the one they're taking, because it's less risk. It's high risk when you take a kid that doesn't do well in school and has discipline issues. They don't want that. They want someone they can trust, and someone that can handle academics. And it's the message I try to tell the young guys too when I get opportunities to go see them play, is the academics. And I try to talk to the parents and guardians as well. So the key is academics.
100%. And like we said, best of luck to all of our alumni playing this coming weekend for week 1 of the college football season. And obviously, come on out to Bridgeton. Come support the Fighting Clan as they take on the Bulldogs. Myself and Rich Scarpa will be in the booth on the broadcast. We got our headsets coming this week, Coach Russo, which is very exciting. We'll have that communication back with the truck. So that's exciting for us, and make sure you tune into that. And of course, we're looking to make sure that the Dan Russo Show, we had such a phenomenal, I want to thank everybody, phenomenal premiere last week for the episode on YouTube, that we're looking to premiere the show every single Thursday night on our YouTube channel, the same way we did this past week. A lot of people tuned in, and it seemed like it was a rousing success doing it in that form. So every Thursday night is going to hopefully be the plan, unless we mention it otherwise on the show, to premiere it live on YouTube, and obviously it'll be in podcast form as well on your podcast app of choice. So subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple or Spotify. Just search Underground Sports Philadelphia. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is just Underground Sports Philadelphia as well. And make sure you're following Vineland Football on social media, the Red and Gray Gridiron Group Facebook page, and at Vineland FB on Twitter. And you can follow Underground Sports Philadelphia as well at Underground PHI. Coach, any final thoughts for the listeners, the viewers, heading into this matchup against Bridgeton?
I just want to say thanks to all the fans and the parents and the guardians that are sticking behind us and supporting us. Losing isn't fun, and the kids have worked extremely hard, and we're in a position we could have possibly won that game, and we're going to fix things here. The staff and the kids are working extremely hard, but I just want to say I appreciate the fans, and like I said, the parents and guardians for an electric environment Friday night. It was very positive, and the times that kids need you the most is when they're not successful. It's easy to congratulate them after a win, but nobody likes losing. And I appreciate people being positive and supporting their local football team here, and their kids and everything. And like I said, they need you the most when they're not successful. It's easy to everyone get along and be happy when you win, but it shows someone's true colors when things don't go your way. And it's not easy. So I appreciate the fans, the cheerleaders, the band, the marching clan there, and I promise you're going to see some kids stepping up Friday night. They're ready. They're not happy either. No one's happy. The staff isn't happy. The players aren't happy, and obviously, I'm sure the fans aren't happy as well. That no one likes to lose. So we've been working very hard this week. We've had some long practices, getting these kids ready, and I promise you they'll be ready Friday night. I have a lot of confidence. We have some new additions coming in, some key players that'll be back. It's going to be a different look Friday night, believe me, and we're going to be fired the hell up, and we're going there to win.
I'm excited for it. So tune in live on the YouTube for the broadcast of the game. Just Vineland Public Schools YouTube. And if you're in the area, obviously it's right across town. Come on out to Bridgeton and support the Vineland football team as they get set for their Week 1 matchup against the Bulldogs. But this has been another episode of the Dan Russo Show presented by the Red and Gray Gridiron Group and Underground Sports Philadelphia. For Coach Russo, I'm Kyle Bennett. We'll be back next week breaking down this Bridgeton matchup and heading in to Week 3 of the Vineland football season. Until then, we'll talk to you next week.